What up, and welcome to Operation Murder It Out. Today I'm going to be putting a wheel bearing in the Mazda 6. This is the driver's front knuckle. As you can see, it's already been removed, and the old bearing has already been pressed out. That is quite rusty. I took it up to the shop to have the old bearing pressed out because I was having some trouble getting the actual hub out. So I pressed the hub out and then I pressed the bearing out while I was there. But now I'm back at home and I was waiting on parts to get here, so that's why the new bearing is not in. The new wheel bearing, which is this one, came in today, and I have a tool that I really want to use because I want to see if it'll work. Normally I would press in the bearing when I'm doing a job like this, but I have a tool that I keep at the house and I want to see how well it would do. It's this tool right here. It is a wheel bearing removal / installation tool. Never used a tool like this before, so this is going to be my first time using this, so I'm going to be learning something new today. Once again, I usually use a press to whenever I do a job like this, but I want to see how well this tool does. So I'm gonna get everything set up and then we'll go through this experience together. Alright, so for this setup, my two best fittings that I'm going to be using is 95519 and the other one is 95516. The 19 will be going on the bearing and the 16 will be going on the back of the knuckle. So essentially this one will hold on to the knuckle and this one will pull the bearing into the knuckle. And I gotta stick this bolt through it in order to do that. And then I know I don't have the right grease on there, but it's what I have right now. Forgot the proper grease at the job, but it should work. So once again, I am not prepared, but when there's a will, there's a way. So I don't have a socket big enough to fit on this end and a socket big enough to fit on this end, but I do have some channel locks and a pair of pliers. So let's get it done. Now I do prefer to have the right tools, but if it gets the job done, then I have no complaints. And the wheel bearing is going in really smooth, so it's going to take a little bit of time, but I'll get there. All right, that is all the way down. With minimum damage to the tool. Awesome. Sweet. It's all the way in. Now I can put my clamp in so I can clamp my wheel bearing down. Yep, that looks fantastic. All right, I can put my clamp in and then I'm still waiting on the hub to come in. So once that comes in, I'll try to use this same tool to install that. All right, bearing has been installed. I showed you guys how to use that tool, and I ended up taking the entire assembly up to the shop to install the hub. So now it's time to put it back into the car. So what I'm going to end up doing, to try to make this as easy as possible, I'm going to put it on the lower control arm first, and then get the bolts hand snug, and then I will lift up on the knuckle to install the upper ball joint, and then slowly piece everything else together. All right, have not put the nuts on, but the rubber ball joint is installed on the knuckle, and then the knuckle is installed onto the lower ball joint. So I can bolt it down. Make sure this bottom one is lined up. Can bolt it down and slowly attach everything else. Ah, I see. This one's gonna be a pain. Okay. Excuse me. I'm gonna lift the car up a little bit so I can get a gun on there, run this down, and then line this up a little bit better and run that down. I can install my axle nut right here, and then I can tighten up the nut up top. All right, so bottom is bolted down. Still have to do the top, but before I do that, going to focus on putting the rest of the stuff together, and then I will come back to the upper ball joints. I'm going to install the tie rod, sensor, didn't take that loose, and then got to install the rotor and the caliper, and then I'll tighten the bolt down last. Everything is officially back together. Tie rod is back on, pin is in. The sensor is reinstalled, and it goes way up there where it's being held in by a bracket up there. Top nut has been tightened down. Axle nut installed, rotor installed, brake pads and caliper installed. Lastly, I just have to install the wheel, and I'll be going on a test drive, and it should be good to go.